Hey y'all, it was episode 10 of The Bachelor. It was the women tell all. So I thought I was not going to have to record this week, which I don't really have to record, but I thought I wasn't going to record this week, but it turned out to be the continuation of last week's episode as well. So the lie detector Bachelor lie detector test determined that was a lie, that I was not going to be recording. Here I am recording. Anyway, if you want to know how last week's episode ended and how the women tell all went, stick around because I will share. Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it. And by the way, just got in town. Okay, y'all. So it started off with, for the women tell all, it started off with all the women coming out. And of course, everyone went crazy over Maria, which I love to see because Maria had a tough season, y'all. We all know the women were hating on her. More specifically, Jess, Leia, and Sydney were hating on her so much. So it was nice to see her get so much love from Bachelor Nation. The crazy thing is Leia ended up walking off stage because it seemed like all the women except for those three were very much Team Maria, which was interesting because they did not give that same energy in the house. Some of them could have, but at this point it seemed like all of them were Team Maria. And I don't know if it's because Maria got so much love on social media because of how she presented herself on the show, or if they genuinely rock with her. Some of them probably do genuinely rock with her, but it just seemed like everyone except for those three were Team Maria. Anyway, Leia went off stage, was crying about, how I just can't take this, because if someone said something to Maria, Maria will respond, but one of the other ladies would chime in and have her back as well. So I just feel like if you can dish it, you should be able to take it. And at the beginning of the season, I did like Leia, but we all know when that switched when she joined the Maria hate train. So it was kind of like getting a taste of their own medicine. But those three, Leia, Jess, and Sydney, they ended up being super apologetic to Maria, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. So during the Women Tell All, Jesse bought Lexi up. Lexi is the one who left during the season because she's the one who expressed how she may have fertility issues and she didn't want to have a long engagement. So she's the one who left. And basically she did say how Joey set the bar really really high for people she would consider dating in the future. They also spoke with Jen, which Jen, I thought she would have stuck around for a little while longer as well because they had a connection. And she did talk about how she thought that they were so aligned. They had, marriage goals in common and so many other things in common. So she was shocked to be sent home before the hometowns. She did say for the future, she does want to date someone who reciprocates the same energy or feelings that she has for them, which makes total sense. Later, Joey did come out and he spoke with her and he said how he just couldn't see himself going to her hometowns without being confident. All the women did have very good things to say about Joey, which is no surprise because he was just a stand-up guy throughout the whole season. So next, Jessie spoke with Maria and she expressed how she just felt like Joey was someone she knew for a long time, like how their connection was, which again, Maria was someone who I really did like throughout the season. But I just knew they didn't have that type of connection. Like they have a connection, they have chemistry, but marriage, no. Maria also said that he's just like a friend that you would want to make out with, which is exactly what they did throughout this season. But yes, that since we are on Maria, Sydney and Leia especially were super apologetic to her. Maria mentioned how, she sees the hate that they're getting on social media, online, and she doesn't respect it. She doesn't condone it. She doesn't, want that to continue for them, which shout out to Maria because she didn't have to say that, but it just seems like she just wants everyone to be happy and, she gets hate, which I understand. Like, I feel like still she gets hate because she's so confident, and people need to understand like that is not a reason to hate on someone. So Maria, she did kind of accept their, not kind of, she accepted their apology, went, they hugged it out, and all is well. We'll see how it goes. I can see Maria and Leia in Paradise. I also could see Sydney in Paradise. I don't really want to see Sydney in Paradise, but I just feel like she was such a big character on this season that she'll probably end up in Paradise as well. So next up, we are heading back to Tulum and to see how last week's episode ended. Again, Joey received a note from Kelsey that said, Joey, we need to talk. Kelsey, turns out all she wanted to let him know was that she misses him when they are not around each other. And it's like, girl, you needed to say a little bit more, because he was so alarmed and looked so stressed. And he even told her, like, you know, that kind of threw me off a little bit because it freaked him out. And she did say how she kind of regretted saying the message or wording the message the way that she did. And yeah, she could have said, Joey, I really miss you. I want to sneak some time in with you if I can. Like, girl, just say that. Don't say, Joey, we need to talk, because that could mean so many things. To the rose ceremony, there were only 2 roses to hand out, 3 women remaining. Daisy got the first rose. Kelsey got the second rose, which people did notice that when he gave Kelsey the rose, there was still a rose on the podium. So it seemed like editing tried to do a switcheroo, which meant Kelsey would have got the first rose and Daisy would have got the second one. It doesn't really matter though, because Rachel went home and he did tell her, you know, he noticed she was giving more and he couldn't match that. They do seem like they will be really good friends. The same, Rachel and Maria were kind of the same to me. And I still feel like I see so much more of Rachel's personality on her TikTok that I would have wanted to see on the show. But it also seems like they only wanted one. Maria's personality is out of this world, right? So it may not even be like a match, but both of their personalities just seem really fun. And I would have liked to see more of Rachel's personality on the season. Jesse also asked Rachel how her experience has been recently, right? And she did say she's been getting a lot of hateful messages on social media, a lot of racist messages on social media. And, you know, she had an emotional moment about that, understandably so, because she just seems like a positive person. And she said that the hateful messages all started after hometown week, which we all know that's the week Maria got sent home. So I think that sucks. That's the sucky part about being present on social media, is that people will find the craziest thing and then everyone will jump on that bandwagon and start hating you, or they can find something and everyone jumps on the bandwagon and starts loving you. So I hate that for Rachel, and I really just hate that generally for the world. Like, spread love. Also asked Kelsey, and Joey and Jesse both stood behind Rachel and all the women, because Jesse asked, you know, who else has experienced hateful messages, and they all raised their hand, or most of them all raised their hand, like they've experienced it as well. And Jesse did say, you know, this is a show about finding love. It's not about bringing hate. You know, that's just not the vibe of the show. So I feel like if someone wants to bring hate, they need to go to or those shows where they're fighting. Like, don't do that. Not for the Bachelor Nation, y'all. Kelsey T also expressed how her father, she's the one who had the estranged relationship with her father, and he didn't even know she was there. She did say how her father reached out right after the show and he was apologetic. They're now closer, and she said that other people have been reaching out to her, and she's been able to, you know, give them her support, and, you know, so that was a positive that definitely came out of the show. They also gave a sneak peek into next week's finale with Rachel and Kelsey A, remaining. They made it seem like there may not even be a proposal because Joey was crying, but I do feel like the way editing be, who knows how it's going to go. And I do feel like there's no way this man did not get proposed. This is probably the best bachelor that I can think of. So for the other ones to get proposed and him not, it just wouldn't make sense. So who do you guys think he's going to choose? I'm thinking it's going to be Kelsey, although Daisy was in my top 2 the entire season and Kelsey joined my top 2 within the past maybe 3 weeks. But I don't know. I just feel like Kelsey is his person. So we will see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching my recap, and I will catch you guys next week for the finale.